The atmosphere at Wimbledon felt different that day. It wasn't just another Grand Slam match. It felt like the beginning of a story the tennis world would remember for years. Thousands of fans packed the stands, expecting high-level tennis. But very few expected a 19-year-old from the Philippines to become the center of one of the tournament's biggest conversations. Alex Eala had already inspired millions back home. She had broken barriers, earned respect across the tennis world, and arrived at Wimbledon carrying the hopes of an entire nation. Yet standing across the net was one of the most experienced and composed competitors on tour, Jasmine Paolini. On paper, experience had the advantage. But within minutes, everyone watching realized this wasn't going to follow the script. Because Alex Eala wasn't playing like someone happy just to be there. She was playing like someone who believed she could beat anyone. And for a while, she looked unstoppable. From the very first rally, Eala attacked with incredible confidence. Every forehand exploded off her racket. Every backhand landed with precision. She moved across the grass with surprising ease, making one of tennis' most difficult surfaces look almost natural. The crowd immediately noticed. Winner after winner brought louder applause. Commentators couldn't stop talking about her composure. Instead of looking nervous on one of the biggest stages in sports, Eala looked completely fearless. That confidence slowly began putting Paolini under pressure. Normally known for controlling rallies and forcing opponents into mistakes, the Italian suddenly found herself reacting instead of dictating. Every aggressive shot from Eala pushed her farther behind the baseline. Momentum had completely shifted. The Filipino supporters inside the stadium erupted after every point. Even neutral fans couldn't help but admire what they were witnessing. This wasn't just a talented young player having a good day. It felt like the arrival of a future star. When Eala secured the opening set, the stadium exploded. Philippine flags waved proudly in the crowd. Social media immediately began buzzing. Could one of Wimbledon's biggest upsets actually happen? For one set, it looked very possible. But Grand Slam tennis has a way of testing every player. Winning the first set is one thing. Closing out the match is something entirely different. Champions don't panic when they're behind. They adapt. And that's exactly what Jasmine Paolini began doing. As the second set started, the changes weren't dramatic. They were subtle. She stopped trying to overpower Eala. Instead, she became more patient. She extended rallies. She moved Eala from corner to corner. She waited. Every point became longer. Every service game became tougher. The easy winners that had come so naturally in the first set suddenly became much harder to find. Little by little, the balance of the match started changing. The crowd could feel it. The excitement never disappeared. But now tension filled every rally. Every mistake suddenly carried much greater weight. Neither player wanted to blink first. The battle became just as mental as it was physical. Then came the moment that changed everything. A single point. One decision. And a controversy that would soon spread across the tennis world. During one of the match's most important games, a powerful shot flew toward the sideline. It landed so close to the line that many spectators instantly believed it had clipped the paint. One side celebrated. The other waited. Then came the line call. Out. For a split second, the entire stadium froze. Confusion immediately spread across center court. Players looked toward the officials. Fans exchanged puzzled expressions. Something didn't feel right. The decision was challenged. Now thousands of people stared silently at the screen, waiting for technology to provide the answer. Seconds felt like minutes. Finally, the replay appeared. The ball had actually landed inside the line. Gasps echoed throughout the stadium. Many expected the point to be corrected immediately. But that wasn't what happened. Because of the sequence of play and the tournament rules, the original outcome remained unchanged. The point stood. And suddenly, everything felt different. Alex Eala accepted the decision. She didn't argue endlessly. She didn't lose control. She simply returned to the baseline. But her body language told a different story. The confidence that had fueled her brilliant opening performance seemed harder to find. That's what makes tennis so unique. Sometimes a match doesn't change because of the score. It changes because of what happens inside a player's mind. Confidence can disappear in seconds. Doubt can arrive without warning. One moment can completely alter momentum. Whether the ruling directly decided the match or not, many watching believed they had just witnessed that exact turning point. Paolini sensed the opportunity. She stayed calm. She trusted her experience. She continued executing her game plan while Eala searched desperately for the rhythm that had made her nearly unstoppable earlier. Slowly, the second set slipped away. Every missed opportunity seemed heavier than the last. Every successful point from Paolini increased her belief. What had started as a dream performance suddenly became an uphill battle. Still, Eala refused to quit. The deciding set became an incredible test of determination. Every rally stretched longer. Every game felt crucial. The physical demands became obvious. Yet Eala continued chasing every ball with remarkable determination. She celebrated every hard-earned point. She kept believing. The crowd responded to every exchange, fully aware they were witnessing one of the tournament's most dramatic matches. But experience often reveals itself in the biggest moments. Paolini stayed composed. She managed pressure beautifully. She took advantage of small openings whenever they appeared. Little by little, she moved closer to victory. Eventually, after nearly 3 hours of exhausting tennis, the match came to an end. The scoreboard declared Jasmine Paolini the winner. But almost immediately, it became clear that the final score wouldn't be the biggest story. The controversy had taken on a life of its own. Within minutes, social media exploded. Slow-motion replays flooded every platform. Fans analyzed the disputed point from every possible angle. Some argued that the rules had simply been applied correctly. Others insisted that the outcome felt deeply unfair. The debate spread far beyond Wimbledon. Millions who hadn't even watched the match suddenly searched for highlights to understand why everyone was talking about Alex Eala. Sports pages published headline after headline. Tennis analysts slowed the footage frame by frame. Every replay created another debate. Every opinion sparked thousands of comments. The match was over. The conversation was only beginning. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. Alex Eala's post-match press conference. Reporters filled the room. Cameras were already recording before she even sat down. Nobody wanted to ask about serves or forehands. Everyone wanted one answer. How did she really feel about that controversial moment? Despite the heartbreaking defeat, Eala appeared calm. She looked emotionally exhausted after nearly 3 hours on court. But she didn't look defeated. She adjusted the microphone and patiently waited for the first question. It came immediately. What changed the match? She paused. For several seconds, the room became completely silent. Many expected the usual athlete response. Credit the opponent. Move on. Say nothing controversial. Instead, she answered with remarkable honesty. She admitted there were many moments throughout the match she wished she could replay. But she also acknowledged that one specific point kept returning to her mind. Not simply because of the score, but because of how it affected her mentally. She explained that recovering emotionally after such a confusing situation proved far more difficult than many people watching from home could ever imagine. Her words weren't angry. They weren't dramatic. They were sincere. She praised Jasmine Paolini's outstanding performance. She respected the officials. But she also admitted something many athletes rarely say publicly. Momentum matters. Confidence matters. And sometimes one emotionally difficult moment changes everything that follows. The room grew quieter. Even experienced journalists recognized they weren't hearing excuses. They were hearing honesty. That honesty resonated with fans around the world. Within minutes, clips of her interview spread across social media. Hashtags supporting Alex Eala began trending in multiple countries. Support poured in from every direction. Fans praised not only her tennis but also her maturity. In the Philippines, the reaction was extraordinary. Television stations replayed the match throughout the day. News outlets highlighted her courage. Social media filled with messages of encouragement. For millions of Filipinos, the scoreboard no longer mattered most. What mattered was how their young star had represented the country on one of tennis' biggest stages. With courage, with class, and with dignity. International fans joined the conversation as well. Many believe the incident raised important questions about officiating and technology in modern tennis. Others focused on something even bigger: the arrival of Alex Eala. Because regardless of the controversy, one thing had become impossible to ignore. She had proven she belonged among the world's best. She had pushed one of the tour's top players to the limit. She had handled immense pressure with remarkable maturity. And she had earned the respect of tennis fans around the globe. Sometimes greatness isn't measured only by victories. Sometimes it's measured by how someone responds when everything seems to go against them. Alex Eala may not have walked away with the win that day, but she walked away with something equally valuable: the belief of millions, the respect of the tennis world, and a reminder that her journey is only beginning. If this performance is any indication of what's ahead, then Wimbledon didn't witness the end of a dream. It witnessed the start of something much bigger. The next chapter of Alex Eala's career may be even more unforgettable. And the next time she steps onto one of tennis' biggest stages, the entire world will be watching.